Hi guys, me again, it's Gaz. Welcome everyone to the second video class of the Easy English Upper Intermediate course. Before I get into it today, I just want to talk a little bit about the first video. Video class number 1 for you guys was the first time that I'd ever recorded a video class. So it was a new experience and honestly a strange experience. Sitting in an empty room with a camera, talking for a long time with nobody else. It takes some getting used to. I hope that doing my second one, this will be a bit better. If I'm honest, I felt that my first class was a little bit wooden, a little bit lifeless. That's not what I'm like in the classroom. Those who have seen me, you'll know that that's not how I am in the classroom. And what I'm trying is that as we go through and do more video classes, I can get back to more like what I'm like in the classroom. But I'm still getting used to it. So bear with me, guys. Have patience. I'm trying my best. So on that note, we're gonna crack on with some revision. Okay, so last week we saw some phrases that you can use to keep a conversation going, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some signs with a word missing from those expressions, and what I want you to do is to complete the expression for me, but I want you to talk to me. I know it's strange talking to a computer, there's nobody around, but I want you to use the words. I want you to practice actually saying the words. That's important. That's why we do the speaking exercises in class. We're not in class, we don't have the people, but you can still speak. So if I can do it speaking to an empty room, speaking to a camera, you can do it speaking in an empty room, speaking to a computer. So go for it, please, guys. So I've got here some signs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show them to you, and I'm going to ask you to shout out the expression, the complete expression, to me. So, for example, I say, such as. Good. Next one. How's it going? Next one. Why's that? Next one. Like what? Like what exactly? How do you mean? What's the teacher like? He's awesome. He's awesome. That's what the answer to that question is. And what else are you doing? In what way? And the last one, this was a tricky one. How come? And remember, I said, how come is a very informal, colloquial way to say why. So why. You say, we're recording video classes for the Institute. How come? Because we can't do face-to-face classes at the moment. So it's a substitute for why. But don't put it in a formal piece of writing. It's for informal conversation with your friends. Okay? Great, okay, so revision done. We're going to look at some new material and a new topic today. So, what I need from you is to grab your book, your face-to-face book, the purple upper intermediate face-to-face book, and to go to page number 26. Page 26, please. So, if everyone can find page 26, it's this one. Okay, page 26. One. Okay. On page 26, we're going to start by looking at a couple of stories. You'll see that on page 26 here, you've got a picture A. This relates to story A. And then on page 27, there's picture B. This relates to story B. Okay. In the face-to-face class, this would be a listening exercise where we'd listen to a CD and you'd complete these exercises. Well, in the interests of sound quality, I'm going to read the listening activity rather than play on the CD player. Okay? What I want for you to do is to listen to the story, and these pictures give you some idea of what is happening. But what I want you to do after you've heard the story is to look at exercise 3 here, and it says story A, and it gives you some information, some prompts that you can use to retell or to summarise the story. So after you've listened, what I want you to do is to pause the video and to think and to come up with a summary of each story using the words in these boxes. So when you summarise story A with this picture, you have shopping, 4 men, wrong car, not charged. Okay, so when you make your summary of story A, I want you to use this vocabulary, and this will help you to give some sequence to the events in the story. When you summarise story B, this is the relevant picture, and here is your relevant vocabulary. So story B, it says car alarm, tyres, arrested, charged, a fine. There we go. Okay. So next I'm going to read the listening activity, and then you'll pause and summarise those stories. I will also tell you that the transcripts, the written form of the listening activity, they're in your book. They're included in the book. The relevant page for this one is page 159. So if you go in your book to page 159, here you'll find under CD1 track 23, here is the written version of the track I'm going to read to you. Now what I say is that ideally you'll complete this exercise by listening, because it's a listening exercise. But if you want to read afterwards to make sure that you understood everything, then this is the place to do that. But first time round, do it by listening, please. Okay? So, without further ado, I shall read you from the book. Ready? This is Joanne speaking. And she says, "Did you hear what happened at the parking lot near here yesterday?" "No. What?" "This woman had been shopping, and when she went back to the parking lot, she saw 4 men in her car. So she took a gun out of her purse and threatened to shoot them." "Whoa! Did she fire the gun?" "No. They got out of the car and just ran away. But then, get this, when the woman got into the car, she realised it wasn't hers. Her car looked identical, but it was parked nearby. Poor guys! Did they get their car back?" "Yes. The woman went to the cops to confess, and when she arrived, the 4 men were there, reporting the theft of their car." "Was she charged with anything?" "No. No one was hurt. But if she'd shot the men, she would have been in serious trouble." "No charge. That's ridiculous. She threatened them with a gun. If the men hadn't run away, she could have killed them." "Yes, but no one was hurt, Arnie." "That's not the point. The point is, there are 80 million people in this country carrying guns. Well, 300 million guns, to be precise, and that doesn't include the illegal ones. And you don't even need a permit to buy one." Oh, here we go. Arnie's rant about guns again. And by the way, you do need a permit in the state of New York. But Arnie's right. You don't need a permit in most states. Chuck, I agree. People have the right to defend themselves and their property. But we've got a serious problem here. Just the other day, a guy in our street was arrested for shooting the tyres of a car which was parked outside his apartment. Just, well, because the alarm kept going off in the night. Well, I wouldn't have been too happy if the alarm had woken me up. They drive you crazy. But you wouldn't have shot the tyres. No, of course not. If it had been me, I might have left a note on the car or something. What happened to him? Not sure. I think they got him for vandalism. And he, well, had to pay a fine or something. And what would he have done if he'd actually seen the owner of the car? I mean, the guy with the gun was seriously angry. Yeah, well, we'll never know. But I bet Arnie would have locked him up and thrown away the key. Hey, Arnie? Ha! Too true. Okay, that was the listening. So, there were two stories there. First one with the lady, and then the second one with the man. So what I want you to do now is pause the video. If you need to, you can listen again. That's the good thing about the video class. You can listen as many times as you need to. Okay? And if you really need to, remember, you can read the transcript in the book here on page 159. So, I'll get you to pause the video, make a summary of both stories using the vocabulary here, and then when you're ready, play, and I'll give you a brief summary and see if your story matches mine. Okay? So for now, pause. And play! Yay! Alright, okay, so I'm just going to summarise the story. So, following the vocabulary here, I can say a woman went shopping and then returned to her car. When she got to her car, she saw 4 men sitting in her car. She thought they were stealing her car, so, as you do, she got out a gun and threatened to shoot them. Well, the men ran away. When she got into the car, she tried to start the car, but, it was the wrong car. So, she went to the police station to report the situation, and she found the 4 men at the police station telling the police that she'd stolen their car. In the end, because nobody was hurt, she was not charged. They didn't charge her with a crime. They said, no. Right? Story 1. Cool. Story 2, or story B, sorry. Story B. Let's summarise. So, one night, a car alarm was going off for ages and ages and ages. This happened to me the other night. I got really annoyed. Did I shoot the car? No, I didn't. I just sat in my house very, very annoyed. Anyway, a car alarm was going off at night for ages and ages and ages. Woo. So, some man who was very angry decided that he would shoot the tyres of the car that had the alarm going off. Good idea, right? That will cure the situation. That's a great solution. Just shoot it. These stories are from the United States, by the way, just in case you couldn't guess. So he shot the tyres. Then the man was arrested by the police. He was charged with a criminal offence, with criminal damage, I suppose, and he was given a fine. A fine is a form of punishment from the justice system where you have to pay some money, and that is your punishment. Una multa, just in case. Right, okay, so did your summaries match my ones? Maybe some of them did, maybe partly they did. If you have a doubt, send me a message or get in contact with your teacher through the WhatsApp group. Okay, great. Well, those are the stories. Those stories contain some references to our grammar topic for today, which is third conditional. Yay! Now, people tell me that, oh, third conditional, oh, it's so hard. It is a little bit complicated at first. When you see it, we don't use it very much, so it's not one topic that everybody knows very easily. But it has a structure, and once you understand the structure, it's not so complicated. Okay, so we're going to go through the structure today. I've got an example here from the book. I'm going to use this example to examine this structure a little bit to help you understand. But before we get into that, I'm going to give you a couple of other examples for us to work with. Let's see. If I had eaten breakfast, I wouldn't have been hungry. If I had eaten breakfast, I wouldn't have been hungry. Okay. Maybe I'll give you another one. If I had bought a car, I would have driven to work. Got lost down there. If I had bought a car, I would have driven to work. Okay, so we're going to look in the book at this example, and then I'm going to show you the same things with these examples, just to give you more examples to help you understand. So in the book, we're looking exercise number 5 here, third conditional. Okay, it says, look at this sentence in blue and then answer these questions underneath. So this is the question. This is the example, and I want you to repeat after me. So, if she had shot the men, she would have been in serious trouble. Okay, cool. So, this is a sentence in third conditional. Okay. We're going to look here at these two questions and the rule, and this gives us some basic information about third conditional. So, question number 1 says, did the woman shoot the men? Did the woman shoot the men? In story A, did the woman shoot the men? Yes or no? No, she didn't. So, this third conditional, if she had shot the men, this is the third conditional sentence. But if I take out my reality pen, and in red I write the reality. Did she shoot the men? No, she didn't. So, she didn't shoot the men. The reality is, she didn't shoot the men. Okay? Second part, question 2 says, did she get into serious trouble? Did she get into serious trouble? No, she didn't. She was not charged. No trouble. So, did she get into serious trouble? No. So, again, reality pen. She didn't get into serious trouble. Okay. She didn't shoot the men, she didn't get into serious trouble. But if she had shot the men, she would have been in serious trouble. Right. And here there's a rule. And in this rule, in 2 places, you need to choose the correct option. So, let's have a look at this together. It says, we use the third conditional, this blue structure, we use the third conditional to talk about real or imaginary situations in the present or past. So, both of those two places, we need to choose the correct option. So, remember, red is the reality pen. This is the reality. The blue is the third conditional. So, the reality says she didn't shoot the men. Third conditional says if she had shot the men. So, when we look at the first option, it says we use this to talk about real situations or imaginary situations. Well, the red is real. The blue is the opposite to the reality, so that's not real, it's the imaginary situation. So, first option, we use third conditional to talk about imaginary situations. In the second part, we need to choose present or past. Well, let's have a look. The reality pen, remember, says she didn't shoot the men. She didn't shoot the men. Is that in the present or is that in the past? She didn't shoot the men. It's in the past. She didn't shoot the men in the past. So, this whole situation, if she had shot the men in the past, she would have been in serious trouble in the past. This is all in the past. So, I think you can complete it now. It says, we use the third conditional to talk about imaginary situations in the past. Woo! So, that gives you a basic explanation of the function of third conditional. We can do the same thing with these other examples that I've got here. If I had eaten breakfast, I wouldn't have been hungry. So, did I eat breakfast? If I had eaten breakfast. Well, here, the third conditional in blue, well, the reality is the opposite of the third conditional. So, if I had eaten, here is positive. So, I need something negative. So, the reality is, I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't eat breakfast. Okay? If I had eaten breakfast, I wouldn't have been hungry. So, I wouldn't have been hungry. Here, this is the third conditional. I need the reality. So, here, this time, I've got a negative structure. So, my imaginary situation is negative. That means my reality is positive. Oh, right, okay. So, I need to make this into a positive form. So, I didn't eat breakfast. I was hungry. This is the verb to be. I was hungry. I didn't eat breakfast, so I was hungry. But if I had eaten breakfast, I wouldn't have been hungry. One more. If I had bought a car, I would have driven to work. Lazy bones, okay? But, look at this. I say, if I had bought a car, did I buy a car? Yes or no? Well, here, my imaginary third conditional is positive. If I had bought a car. That means the reality is the opposite. So, the reality must be negative. So, I didn't buy a car. I didn't buy a car. If I had bought a car, I would have driven to work. So again, this is my imaginary situation. I would have driven to work. This is positive, so my reality must be negative. I didn't buy a car, so I didn't drive to work. Ta-da! I didn't buy a car, so I didn't drive to work. That's my reality from yesterday, for example. I didn't buy a car, so I didn't drive to work. But if I had bought a car, I would have driven to work. Talking about an imaginary situation in the past, an alternative past. Yes? That's third conditional. You're very welcome. Okay, cool. So, I want to skip down in the book to look at part C. Part C. And in part C, we've got 4 sentences or questions, A, B, C and D. And then underneath, we've got 3 questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read everything through for you, and then I'll get you to pause, and you can complete this little exercise. And then, when you're finished, play, and I'll go through the answers for you. Okay? So, let me just sit down, because I'm getting old. Sit down. I can read the exercise for you. So, read the sentences, then answer the question. So, A says, if the men hadn't run away, she could have killed them. Third conditional. Sentence B. I wouldn't have been too happy if the alarm had woken me up. Third conditional. C. If it had been me, I might have left a note on the car. Third conditional. And D, this one's a question, says, what would he have done if he'd actually seen the owner of the car? Third conditional in question form. Wonderful. Okay, so then the questions you need to answer. Question number 1. Which modal verb can we use in the main clause to mean, and here we've got 2 sub-questions. A means would perhaps, like maybe. And the other one means would be possible. Okay, so you need 2 answers for that one. One modal verb means would perhaps. One modal verb means would be possible. Then, in number 2, it says, is the if clause a clause with if? This is the if clause. This is the main clause, or the result clause if you like. This is the if clause, it has if. This is the result clause, it has a result. This is the if clause, it has if. This is the result clause, it has a result. Okay? So, number 2 says, is the if clause always first in the sentence? And question number 3, how do we make questions in third conditional? So, using A, B, C and D, you can answer all those questions. Okay, so what you need to do now, press pause, complete the questions, play, and I'll show you the answers. Okay, so for now, pause. And play! Yay. All right. Okay, so looking through these then, let's get the answers. Question number 1 says, which modal verb can we use in the main clause, in the result clause, the one that doesn't have if, to mean A, would perhaps, and B, would be possible? Well, if we review the sentences again, sentence A says, if the men hadn't run away, she could have killed them. She could have killed them. I can tell you, could means it would have been possible. So when we look at number 1 and we're looking for B would be possible, this is she could have killed them. That's the meaning of could. Okay? Would be possible. If we look at sentence B, it says, I wouldn't have been too happy if the alarm had woken me up. Okay, we don't need that one yet. But in sentence C, it says, if it had been me, I might have left a note on the car. This means I would perhaps, maybe, that's might. So, for question 1, would perhaps, this is might from sentence C. 1B, would be possible, this is could from sentence A. Okay? That's question 1. Done. Question 2 says, is the if clause, the clause with if, is the if clause always first in the sentence? Well, if you look at sentence A, it begins with if, so in sentence A, the if clause is first in the sentence. And if you look at sentence C, it says if, so this one again begins with the if clause. However, when you read sentence B, it says I, and you'll notice that if is at the end. I wouldn't have been too happy if, so here, the if clause is the second half of the sentence, which shows us that question 2, is the if clause always first in the sentence? The answer is no, it can be first or it can be last. It doesn't matter, it's the same. Okay? Put it at the beginning or put it at the end. It's the same. It's the same. The meaning is exactly the same at the beginning or at the end. No difference in meaning. Okay, so just the last one. It says, how do we make questions in the third conditional? Well, from D you can get an example of a question. In D, we've got a question word, what, so I'm looking for information. But the important thing for how do we make questions in the third conditional is the change in the word order at the beginning of the question. And I'll show you. It says, what would he have done? Let me just write that down for you. What would he... This is the important part. What would he have done? If I make a sentence, he would have done his homework. For example, sentence. He would have done his homework if he had had time. Or nearly, for example. Notice the word order. He is the subject, and then would is your auxiliary, and then have, and then done. But when you make your question, what would he? He would he? So, the answer to your question, how do we make questions in a third conditional? It's this change in the order of your subject and your would. Okay? Question, what would he have done? Sentence, he would have done. You see, it's just this change here. Okay? The rest is the same. It's the same as any other question structure in English. You need to have an auxiliary before your subject in a question in English. That's what that is. Putting would before he. That's what it is. So, there we go. If that's not clear, or you need more examples, or you want to see a bit more information, I can refer you. In the book here it says check in grammar, page 133. Let me show you that page 133 in the language summary section at the back of the book, when you come here, page 133, third conditional, bam. More information, some examples, goes through the structure. If you have a doubt, check it out. If you have a doubt after all of that, then send a message to your group, get in contact with your teacher, or put a message on Google Classroom. Okay? We're here for you if you need us. Great, okay, cool. So, let's do one more exercise on that topic. We're going to look on the next page, page 27. Page 27, this one, exercise number 8. Down here, okay? For this exercise, it says, read about Jim's terrible evening. Poor Jim, pobrecito, poor Jim, terrible evening. It says, fill in the gaps with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. So, you have 6 sentences here, and the verbs have been removed, and in brackets you have the infinitive. Okay? Sometimes you have a modal verb as well. For example, in number 1 it says might be. In this you need to use might, and your main verb is be. But you need to use the correct form. Okay? So I'll read through the questions, then I want you to pause the video, complete the exercise, and when you're ready, press play, and I'll go through the answers with you. Okay? Just let me read through first. So, eat something better if I something the bus to Juliet's party last night. That's number 1. Number 2. If Mary something me where she was going, I something for a lift. Notice in that one it says could ask. Ask is your main verb, but in this example you must use could as your auxiliary rather than would. Okay. Number 3, it says I something in the street if I something there were car thieves in the area. Number 4, if I something my car unlocked the thieves something it, and again you've got a modal verb. It says might not steal. So you need to use might, and then your main verb is steal, but in the negative, not steal. Okay? Number 5, if Mary something, me a lift home, I don't know where I something, and then number 6, my parents something, very worried if I something home last night. Okay, so you need to use the structure for third conditional. These are all third conditional sentences. So, complete the exercise using the third conditional, and when you're ready, press play and I'll go through the answers. So now, pause! And play! Yay! Wonderful. We're back in the game. So, how was that? Was that difficult? It wasn't easy, okay, I'll give you that. Remember, as I said, that if you need the summary from the language summary on page 133, this can help you if you have a doubt, okay? But let's go through the answers. So, in number 1, it says, eat something better if I something the bus to Juliet's party last night. Well, let's write these on the board, shall we? Number 1. Sorry. Number 1. It might have been. Might is your modal verb that you had to use. You've got be as your main verb, and because we're in the main clause, we need this structure with would have been. We've got might instead of would, then we've got have, C or C. C or C, it's always C. Have. Might have, then I need my main verb in this form, in third column. So, it says, it might have been better if I, and here we're in the if clause, so we're going to use the structure from this one. So, if I, and then you're going to have your auxiliary, had, and then you need to put take into third column. So, if I had taken the bus to Juliet's party last night. So your sentence should read, it might have been better if I had taken the bus to Juliet's party last night. Now you have a complete third conditional sentence. Congratulations, well done. Very good. Let's go through the rest. In number 2, if. So we're looking at the if clause, using this structure with had and third column. So, if Mary had, and then I need tell in third column. What's tell in third column? It is told. So, if Mary had told me where she was going, and I've got could ask. So, instead of would, I'm going to put could. I could, then after I need have, C or C. I could have, and then I need ask in third column. It's a regular verb, so asked. Could have asked her for a lift. So my sentence reads, if Mary had told me where she was going, I could have asked her for a lift. A lift, in this context, is when a person lets you go in their car and they drive you to the place that you need to go. So for example, when I go to visit my mum in England, I go and fly into the airport, my mum comes to the airport, she gives me a lift home. She drives me home in her car. That's a lift. Okay? So, number 3. It says, I something in the street, if I something, there were car thieves in the area. Okay, fine. So, I'm beginning with I, that's my subject. So, that's the main clause. So, I need this structure here. Okay? So, for number 3, I would, but here I need negative. It says not park. So instead of would, it's wouldn't. I wouldn't. What comes after would? Have. C or C. So I wouldn't have. Then I need my main verb in third column. Well, park, estacionar, is a regular verb. So I put ed and I get parked. I wouldn't have parked in the street if I, and now I'm looking at the if clause with if, I, and I need had and third column. So, had, and then, this is a tricky one, an irregular verb, no. Third column, anyone? Anyone? Known, very good, very good. Okay, so, had known there were car thieves in the area. So my sentence reads, I wouldn't have parked in the street if I had known there were car thieves in the area. Wonderful. Number 4. It says, if I, so I'm looking at the if clause, if I, and I've got not leave. So I need leave, but it's going to be negative. So if I, and then I've got had, but it's negative. So instead of had, I need hadn't. Oh, so good. All right. If I hadn't left, leave, in third column is left. Another irregular verb. Ugh, those irregular verbs. If I hadn't left my car unlocked, the thieves, and I've got might not steal. The thieves, so, main clause. The thieves. And I've got might, so not would, I'm going to put might. Might. And then I've got not steal, so I need to put it in negative. So, might not. And then, what comes next? C or C? Have. Yeah. Might not have. And then my main verb, steal. In third column, anybody? This is a good point actually, If you ever need a third column, in the back of your book, the irregular verb list has the most commonly used irregular verbs. And if you have a doubt about a third column, you can check in there. But this one, steal, stole, stolen. Third column, stolen. Might not have stolen it. So my sentence reads, if I hadn't left my car unlocked, the thieves might not have stolen it. Ooh, wonderful. Okay. Number 5. So I run out of space. Number 5. It says if Mary, so here, the if clause, if Mary, and I've got not give. So give is my main verb, but I need to use it in a negative structure. So if Mary, I need had, but negative. So once again, hadn't. And then my main verb, give, in third column. That's right, given. If Mary hadn't given me a lift home, I don't know where I would. What comes after would? Have, yes, have. And then, main verb, stay, regular verb, so, stayed. My sentence reads, if Mary hadn't given me a lift home, I don't know where I would have stayed. Goodbye. One more, nearly there guys, doing really well. Number 6. My parents, very worried if I home last night. Okay, so my parents, so no if, so it's the main clause. My parents would have, and then I've got be is my main verb, so in third column, it's been. My parents would have been worried, or very worried, very worried. My parents would have been very worried if I, and then I've got not come. If I I make this negative with had and not, so hadn't. And then come, third column for come, it's a tricky one, because it's irregular. Come, came, come. Very weird, but that's what it is. Hadn't come home last night. So my sentence reads, my parents would have been very worried if I hadn't come home last night. Whew. Have you got one of those correct? Well done. If not, more practice, okay? There will be some extra practice just in case you need it on this topic. If you have a doubt about this topic, if you find it difficult, don't worry. Everybody finds it difficult at first. But review this class if you have a doubt. You can always watch it again. Again, the joy of having a video class, you can watch it again. You can watch it as many times as you like. And then I'm going to give you some extra practice so that you can have another go at this topic, just to help you to really understand it. But I have got a little bit more that I want to share with you today. And we're in the book, but we're going to go back one page and turn to page 26 and look at some vocabulary, like a little break from the grammar, something a little bit easier perhaps. In exercise number 1, you'll find here that we've got column A gives you some verbs, and column B gives you some collocations, and these are words that you often put together to make phrases. Okay, and your job will be, this is one group, you need to match A with B, and then this is another group, you need to match A with B. So you have the verb, and then here you have the thing. Okay, so I'll just read you the vocabulary, and then you'll get to pause, and then you can match, and when you play, I'll go through the answers. So in column A, your verbs, you've got commit, arrest, charge, take, give, and then in group 2, find, acquit and convict, send, sentence and fine. Those are your verbs in 2 groups. Then in part B, you've got the rest of the collocation, the rest of the phrase, and in group 1, you've got someone to court, evidence, someone for a crime, someone with a crime. Notice how a lot of them are similar, but preposition changes or the noun changes, and it makes a different phrase. It needs a different verb. Okay. Then in group 2, for column B, you've got someone £500, someone to prison for 10 years, someone not guilty or someone guilty, someone of a crime, and someone to 10 years in prison. Just before we continue, the word in Spanish for prison is very, very similar to English, but it's not the same. Okay, and because it's written in a very similar way, I often hear students using the Spanish word because they think it's the same as the English word. It's not quite the same. So listen carefully. I say prison, prison. Say after me, prison, prison. One more time, prison. Okay, cool. Right, so now I'm going to ask you to pause the video and connect in this group of 5, column A with column B, and then in this group of 5, column A with column B. When you're ready, press play, and I'll go through the answers with you. Okay? Pause! And play! Yay. Alright, okay, cool. Let's check these collocations in. So, starting with the first group, we've got commit. Commit a crime. It's similar to Spanish, I think, so that one shouldn't be too difficult. Commit a crime. You can commit murder, commit vandalism, commit criminal damage, commit a crime. Next one, arrest. And we say arrest someone for a crime. For example, arrest someone for murder, or arrest someone for criminal damage. Okay. Next one, charge. This is charge someone with a crime. So notice the preposition is important. Charge someone with a crime. And this is when the police formally begin an investigation to prosecute somebody for this crime. I say charge someone with murder or charge someone with criminal damage. Okay. Next one is take. When we say take someone to court. If you want to sue somebody, if somebody has done something wrong to you and you want to sue them, we say you take them to court. You open court proceedings against that person. The last one then, it says give, and we use this with evidence. We say give evidence. When a witness goes to the court and speaks and answers questions in the courtroom, this is give evidence. Okay. Group 2 then, let's have a look. It says find. Well, with find, we say find someone guilty or find someone not guilty. And that is when the court makes the final decision about guilty or not guilty. We say find someone guilty or find someone not guilty. The next one, acquit and convict. Maybe these are slightly more difficult words for you, maybe you don't know these. But we say acquit someone of a crime or convict someone of a crime. And these are both verbs that are done by the judge, the person who's in charge of the trial in the court. If the judge acquits somebody, he officially declares that person not guilty. That's what acquit is. But if the judge convicts someone of a crime, they officially declare that that person is guilty. Okay, so this acquit and convict, they are actions done by the judge. They're opposites. Okay, acquit is the judge says not guilty. Convict is the judge says guilty. Yes? Something like that. Okay. Send. With send, this is used with send someone to prison for 10 years. Okay, when the sentence is declared and it involves going to prison, we say send someone to prison. Okay. Next one, sentence. Sentence, well, that is sentence someone to, and then you put the punishment. Okay, again, this is something that the judge does after the trial. Assuming that somebody has been convicted, has been declared guilty, then the next hearing is the sentencing, where they decide the punishment. We say sentence someone to 10 years in prison, for example. The last one, it says fine. Now fine could be, how are you? I'm fine, fine thanks. How are you? Right? But fine is also, as we saw earlier, a payment as a form of punishment. Okay, so you can receive a fine, where here fine is a noun, a thing, but in this context, fine is a verb, and it means to give a fine to someone. So fine someone £500. It's the same as give someone a fine of £500. Okay, there we go. If you have any doubts, send a message to your teacher or put something on Google Classroom and we'll get back to you. Okay? Cool, good. Some vocabulary. Wonderful. That's good. That's it for the book for today. But I am going to get you to do one more exercise before we play a little game and we finish the class. So I'm going to ask you to take your resource pack now. So your resource pack, the blue one, and we're going near the back again. Last week we saw this writing exercise explaining and apologising. Well, if you go one page inside to page 132, there's another writing exercise page, this time complaining about an order. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like I did last week, I'm going to read through the exercises. Here there's some true or false questions for us to just have a look at some examples of complaining about an order. Then we've got some tips. And then here there's a task, an assignment, a piece of work for you to do if you wish. And as I said last week, if you wish and you make this piece of writing, you can send it to your teacher. Your teacher will correct it and give you some feedback. Okay? If you don't want to, that's fine. But for those that have got some free time and they want to do an extra piece of work, then this could be a good exercise. So, at the top it says, read the emails, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails. So, read the emails and decide if sentences 1 to 5 here are true, T, or false, F. Okay? So first, I'm going to read you the 5 emails. Don't worry if I read them quickly, because you can read them on the page here. Okay? You have them. Okay? So I'm going to read them. First one is an email from Gunnar Stromberg, and it's to customer service at Apollo. Okay? So, first email says, I ordered some office stationery 10 days ago, but I haven't received it yet. Can you please check what has gone wrong? My order number is 28287364. Gunnar Stromberg. Email number 1. The second email is a reply from customer service to Gunnar Stromberg, and it says, hello Gunnar, your order has been shipped now. I'm very sorry there has been a problem. We've just changed our computer system and we have been having a few problems with orders. Best wishes, Lasse Maikonen. Not an easy name to say. Email number 3, back from Gunnar to customer service. It says, Lasse, my stationery still hasn't arrived. Now I've been waiting for 2 weeks. We have been ordering you for several years and this is not the level of service I expect. Sorry, but unless I receive the order in 24 hours, I'll have to cancel my order. Gunnar. Number 4, another message from customer services to Gunnar, and it says, please accept my apologies, Gunnar. Our computer system has broken down. Has been down. I have just personally shipped your order by special courier and it will arrive today. Lasse. Then, email number 5, one last time from Gunnar back to customer service. So it says, Lasse, the package has just arrived, but there are some things we didn't order and some items missing. I'm afraid this is not good enough and I have no option but to cancel my order. Please refund the payment to our account. I will send the unwanted items back to you if you include postage. Gunnar. So, those 5 emails. You need to use that information to answer the 5 questions here. I'll read the 5 questions for you and then I'll get you to pause, answer true or false, and then when we play, I'll go through the answers. If the answer's true, then true, shut down. If the answer's false, then I want you to think about why is it false. Okay, I'll give you the reason, but I want you to also think of and write down the reason why it's false. Why is it wrong? Okay, so number 1 says, Gunnar is ordering furniture for the office. True or false? Number 2, Lasse's office has a new computer system. True or false? Number 3, Lasse's company has supplied Gunnar's for years. True or false? Number 4, Gunnar receives shipment about 2 weeks after ordering. True or false? Number 5, Gunnar refuses to return the incorrect items. True or false? Okay. For number 4, you need to look at the time. Well, the date is shown at the top of each email. So, bear that in mind when you're calculating number 4, true or false, about 2 weeks after ordering. Okay? So, pause the video. When you're ready, hit play, and I'll go through the answers. So, for now, pause! And play! Alright, okay. Let's check these answers then. So, number 1, I asked you, Gunnar is ordering furniture for the office. Is that true or false? False. It's false. He's not ordering furniture. What's he ordering? He's ordering office stationery. Office stationery. Things like pens, pencils, paper, things that you use for writing things. That's stationery. Okay, so he wanted office stationery, not office furniture. So number 1, false. Number 2, let's see. Lasse's office has a new computer system. Is that true or false? It's true, that's true. It does say, we've just changed our computer system. So they have a new computer system, that's true. Number 3, Lass's company has supplied gunners for years. Is that true or false? True, good. Yeah, it does say, we have been ordering from you for several years. So that one's true. Good, well done. Okay, number 4. It says, gunner receives shipment about 2 weeks after ordering. Okay, so this we need to make some calculations. In the first email, it says 16th of May, but it says, I ordered some office stationery 10 days ago. So, the 6th of May. Then, when you look at the last email, it says, the package has just arrived. Well, the date here is the 21st of May. So we've got 6th of May, 21st of May. So, that's 15 days, which more or less is 2 weeks. So, gunner receives shipment about 2 weeks after ordering, more or less 2 weeks after ordering. That's true. That's true. Then, number 5, last one, gunner refuses to return the incorrect items. Is that true or false? Well, no, that's false. He didn't say, I will not return the incorrect item. No. What he said was, I will send, and this is at the end of the last message, he says, I will send the unwanted items back to you if you include postage. So, he doesn't promise to do it whatever, but he does say, if you include postage, if you pay for the postage, I will return these items. The postage is the fee, the money that they have to pay to send the items through the post. Okay, so gunner refuses to return the incorrect items. No, that's false. He made a conditional offer to send the items back if Apollo pays for the cost of the postage. Okay, so that was the true or false part. What we've got now, here we're going to focus on avoiding rudeness when complaining about an order. Okay, so I'm going to give you here a little summary. You can read through, but I'll read it to you now. It says, if someone is angry on the phone, the listener may slowly forget about it once the conversation is ended. So we put the phone down, and then over time, maybe the person forgets that you shouted at them. But after time, you forget. And you say, oh no, nothing happened. That wasn't that. Right? But emails are different. And angry or rude, any angry or rude language will stay in the person's inbox or can be forwarded for others to see. Okay? It doesn't disappear. There's a permanent written record there. So every time they look at it, they remember it. They send it to someone else and they can show very clearly that, oh, this person was rude. Okay? So, angry emails can destroy a business relationship or seriously damage a person's reputation. The key points to remember are, never send an email when you're angry. Wait until you're not so angry, then send the email. Point 2, when you complain or criticise, soften, so make it less hard, make it less harsh, make it smoother, make it softer. Soften the language if you want to keep the relationship. So yes, if somebody's upset you and you're sending them an email, but you want to continue to work with that person or that company, then soften the language. Okay? It says, see style tips, for example. We'll go through that in a minute. Okay? It also says, be careful when using humour. Remember that the recipient, the person who receives your email, remember the recipient can't see your face. So it may not be obvious that you're joking. Like, if you're talking to someone and you make a joke, usually it's quite clear from your face, your expression, your hands, everything, that you're making a joke and they can, yeah. But maybe if you send an email, they don't have this information and maybe it's not clear that it's a joke. So just, 1, soften the language if you're angry, but 2, if you're making a joke, be careful, because they might think you're being serious and then that could lead to unwanted consequences. So, focus on that. The style tip that's got in here, it says, notice how Gunnar, although he's still angry, still uses some expressions to soften his message. So he could have said, "This is terrible service," rah! But he didn't. He softened the language. He said, "This is not the level of service I expect." Yes? Notice this is softer. It's easier to receive, you see? Another example. "This is not good enough and I'm cancelling my order." "I'm cancelling my order!" Rah! Okay? Or, "I'm afraid that this is not good enough and I have no option but to cancel my order." You see how it's softer? And then the last example says, "Unless I receive the order in 24 hours, I'll cancel my order." Ooh, ultimatum, rah! But what he's written is, "Sorry, but unless I receive the order in 24 hours, I will have to cancel my order." See, it's the same message, but it's much softer. It's much easier to receive. The recipient is not going to get so upset. Okay. There's also a language tip here, and the language tip talks about using different tenses for different types of action. Okay. Here we've got single action and repeated or continuous action. Well, here under single action it says use present perfect simple. Have or has plus third column. For example, "I haven't received it yet." "My stationery still hasn't arrived." "Can you please check what has gone wrong?" "Your order has been shipped." Now, it's passive voice, but it is present perfect simple. "The package has just arrived." "I'm very sorry, there has been a problem." "We have just changed our computer system." So these are single actions, just one time, and we've used present perfect simple. Have or has with third column for the main verb. But in this column, here we're talking about repeated actions or continuous actions. And we've got here, "Now, I've been waiting," I have been waiting, have or has, plus been, and then verb plus ing. "Now, I've been waiting for 2 weeks." And then sometimes both forms are possible with little change in meaning. It says, "We have had a few problems with orders," or "We have been having a few problems with orders." "We have ordered from you for years," or "We have been ordering from you for years." So sometimes both of them can be pretty much the same with little difference. But if you want to emphasize single action, present perfect simple. If you want to emphasize the repeated nature or the continuous nature of your action, then present perfect continuous. Okay, there's a summary, all that information. And your task at the bottom, if you wish to do it, is you ordered office supplies, but there has been a problem with your order. Oh no! Just like poor Gunnar. It says, use the details below to write an email to complain. So your task is to write an email of complaint. Okay? Complaining about the problems with your order. And you'll get the information about the problems in a minute. It says, you decide what action you will take. Remember, Gunnar decided that he was going to cancel the order. Maybe you can cancel the order, maybe you can do something else. You choose the final action. And it says, use expressions from this page, from here, to help you. Okay? Now the information that you need, the details, the restrictions, the circumstances of this situation are, your supplier is info@copyquick.com. So for Gunnar it was customer service at Apollo, yes, but for you it's info@copyquick.com. That's your supplier. They promise 24-hour delivery. And you have been receiving deliveries from them for 5 years with no problems. Okay? That's the situation. Then, your order. It says photocopier, toner and paper. So toner is like ink for the photocopier, for a printer. And paper, well, I'm sure you know what paper is. I hope. Your order was placed a week ago. 1 week ago you placed the order and the order arrived this morning. So it's taken a week. So given that they promised 24-hour delivery, this is not what you were expecting. It also says missing and incorrect items. Oh no, oh no. So you ordered photocopier, toner and paper. Well, something is missing and they've sent you something else that you didn't want. Okay, so this is the whole situation. Your task, if you want to do it, is to write an email of complaint regarding this situation. You decide the final action. When you finish writing that, you can send it to your teacher. Your teacher will mark it and give it back to you, give you some feedback. It's a useful exercise if you have time, if you want to. Okay. Well, that was great. Okay. Just before we go home, I'm going to just get you to practice one more time the collocations that we looked at a few minutes ago. What I'm going to do is to show you the collocation, and you have to shout out the verb. Okay, so we're using the verbs that we had in the book earlier on in the class, and I'm going to give you here on the sign the collocation. So let's have a go. What have we got here? We've got someone to prison for 10 years. And what's the verb? Send. Send someone to prison for 10 years. Next one. Ooh. Someone of a crime. Someone of a crime. Let's see. We'll do someone to 10 years in prison. What was that one? Sentence. Sentence someone to 10 years in prison. That's serious. Someone guilty or not guilty. What was this one? It was find someone guilty or not guilty. Someone £500. What do we say? Fine someone £500. Someone with a crime. With a crime. We charge someone with a crime. Evidence. Give evidence. Yes. Like provide evidence. We say give evidence. Next one. Someone to court. What's the verb? Take. Take someone to court. Good. A crime. What's the verb? Commit a crime. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. Someone for a crime. Someone for a crime? What do we say? We say arrest someone for a crime. It's when the police take them away. Okay. Then what have we got here? We've got someone of a crime. I thought I did this earlier. Oh. Well, someone of a crime, we say, this is one for the judge, remember? Acquit someone of a crime, this is when the judge says you're not guilty. Or convict someone of a crime, when the judge says you are guilty. Okay, wonderful. Have you got all of those? Well done. Congratulations. Great. That's it for today, guys. But, as always, I have got some extra practice for you. So, I've written a summary here, the extra practice. I've also written a summary here of the pages that we've used in today's class. So, if you have a doubt, we looked at, in the book, page 26 and 27. If you want the transcript of the listening exercise, you can find that on page 159. And we also, in the resource pack on page 132, that's where you can find the writing exercise. But if you want to practice some more at home, extra practice in the resource pack. That's the blue one. That's this one. In the resource pack, on page 16, here, exercise number 1, this one, on crime and punishment. Then, if you go to the next page, on page 17, then you can do all of this page practicing third conditional. As always, I recommend that if a topic is difficult, then the extra practice is even more important. Because if it's difficult, we need to do some more work on it. Okay? So, page 17, this page of exercises for third conditional. You can also find on page 88 of your resource pack, you can find a worksheet of a song. Okay, and the worksheet on page 88 is the song Human by the Killers. Now, if you go onto the Google Classroom, along with the other materials, you can find the song Human by the Killers. So you can listen to the song from Google Classroom and then complete the worksheet in your resource pack. Also, in Google Classroom, there's a clip of a movie, a film. It's called Me Before You, and also on Google Classroom, there is a worksheet for that movie clip, Me Before You. So, there's lots and lots and lots of extra practice that you can get involved in if you want to. But either way, I hope you have enjoyed the class, and I look forward to seeing you next week in video form. And of course, as always, if you have a doubt or a question, you can send a message to your teacher on WhatsApp, or you can send a message to Google Classroom, and one of the teachers of Upper Intermediate will get back to you with an answer to your doubts and questions. So, take care guys, stay safe, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye!